Hello everyone. Each of us has certain fashion preferences. Someone's trying to stand out using fancy clothes. Someone chooses an unusual haircut or makeup. There are hundreds of ways to be different, but all of them pale in comparison with what the heroes of today's video did. These guys changed their bodies beyond recognition, came up with incredible images, covered themselves from head to toe with tattoos. You'll immediately notice them in the crowd. Don't forget to tell us in the comments who impressed you the most. Let's get it on. Blackwork. Legend has it that one day, this guy came to his mother and asked if he could get a tattoo. Yes, but only one, the mother answered. And so, Vladimir covered over 90% of his body with one solid black pattern. But seriously though, this style is called Blackwork. The brutal giant works as a tattoo artist together with his wife, who covered him with tattoos from head to toe. There's something else in Vladimir's appearance that immediately catches the eye: the huge muscles. You might think that he's eating 10 steaks a day, but get ready to be surprised. The guy has been a vegetarian for a couple of years. The 240-pound monster claims that the basis of his diet is cottage cheese, bananas, and cheese. Oh, and a lot of bread. Vladimir bakes it himself. Surprisingly, with such size, the guy doesn't partake in bodybuilding contests and works out just for pleasure. How to get ripped like that? The tattoo artist advises everyone to build up muscles on pull-up and parallel bars, but it seems that he just doesn't want to reveal the secrets of his training regimen. By the way, such an appearance can be misleading. Do you think Vladimir is evil and unfriendly? Then just look at these photos from the playground. So cute. Infernal Orc. If you don't want to have nightmares tonight, then you better close your eyes for a bit. But if you consider yourself a real daredevil, then meet Rico Souza from Brazil. The guy was already looking quite unusual. 80% of his body, including his face, was covered with tattoos. However, recently, he came up with another original idea: to turn himself into, as he calls it, an Infernal Orc. Well, he pretty much nailed it, don't you agree? For the sake of this goal, Rico went through 10 painful body transformations. Let's name just a few. He had the whites of his eyes painted black, his tongue split, and implants put in his head to resemble horns. In addition, he had subdermal implants put in his hands and his leg, burned in with a magnifying glass. According to him, that was the most painful procedure. It's scary to even imagine how he must have felt, right? Well, the highlight of the image is huge fangs. Rico transformed into an orc with the help of his wife, who also looks pretty unusual. Now the guy scares people at various events, but for some reason his own daughter is not afraid of him. Doll Girl. Almost nothing was known about this girl, but internet stalkers managed to dig up some information. Jasmine Bean is a digital artist from London. She'll turn 18 this year. Jasmine's father is Ginger Wildheart, a rock musician and founder of the Wildhearts. Her mum is also known amongst British alternative music fans as a talented drummer. No wonder her daughter has also become an extraordinary person. Check out her slightly frightening looks. Can you guess what Jasmine was inspired by? According to the girl, she was influenced by the Tim Burton movies, the work of the D'Antwoord Group, and Japanese toys. This crazy cocktail gave birth to fundamentally new mythical creatures that resemble monsters from Philippine folklore. The artist's Filipino grandmother told her about them in childhood. Now, the girl has launched her own cosmetic brand and wants to build a career in music. We'll definitely be hearing about her again. Cyborg. Russ Fox from Canada has more than 100 modifications made to his body, from piercings to a split tongue. He also has silicone implants in his forehead in the form of funny horns. But the main transformations of this guy are hidden from the naked eye. Take a look. Russ walks up to his home in Vancouver, places his hand against the door, and it opens. The secret of the trick is that Russ is a real body hacker. He has several devices under his skin that allow him to exchange digital data and open cabinets and doors. No kidding, the transhumanist has RFID and NFC chips under the skin of his left arm. The guy uses them to securely store data and exchange information. Imagine this, in the store he puts his palm to the terminal instead of his smartphone. That's not even all. There's also a magnetic implant in the cyborg's finger. What for? To sense magnetic fields. Russ believes that in the future, all people will use technology to expand their capabilities. Zombie Punk. Who said that punks are dead? This guy would disagree. Well, he certainly looks like he rose from the dead, but this is just part of his image. Anderson Garcia Rodriguez from Brazil calls himself a zombie punk. The transformation was not easy for him. In addition to the thorns sticking out of his face in a huge bright mohawk, Anderson also has many tattoos. They cover 72% of his body. He even had his eye completely tattooed. Can you imagine the screams coming from the tattoo workshop? The guy says that after this, he couldn't see straight for 10 days due to constant tears. Many people try to stay away from zombie punk, and this upsets him. According to Anderson, if someone is a bad guy, then it has to do with their personality, not the tattoos. Also, appearances are really deceiving. The Brazilian is incredibly welcoming and plays the piano perfectly. Not surprisingly, during a visit to London, all the local kids gave him a high five, and the old ladies admired his hairstyle. Extreme body artists. If you've never suffered from trypophobia, you might as well have it after watching this video. Meet Joel Migler, the record holder for the number of facial flesh tunnels. In total, the guy has 11 holes all over his face, but the most shocking ones, of course, are located in his cheeks. Their diameter is 1.34 inches, and although Joel can stick his tongue in them, this isn't enough for him. In the future, he plans to increase their diameter to 1.58 inches. Joel became interested in body transformation at the age of 13. He started with ear piercing, then added a couple of flesh tunnels in the nose and lips, and now you can see the results on your screen. We understand you might be wondering how he eats exactly. The guy claims that this is not actually that big a problem. You have to eat in small pieces, though soup still sometimes flows out. Vision from Switzerland. When Gilbert Schaffner walks through the streets of his hometown in Switzerland, most of the passers-by stare at him in surprise. Others rush to take photos, and some even get scared. Do we need to explain what caused such a reaction? This man had his ears removed, his head covered with tattoos, and the whites of his eyes dyed, all at the age of 65. According to Gilbert, he strives for his own perception of beauty, which he wants to achieve through body transformation. But not everyone shares this view. Once a funny story happened to him. During a friendly conversation at a restaurant, Gilbert made a witty remark that, in addition to his ears, he plans to get rid of his nose, finger, and nipples. The elderly man sitting at the next table overheard this and called the authorities and mental health services, after which Gilbert had a lot of trouble. Quite a strange reaction, really. This man is the spitting image of Vision from the Avengers. Why not just take a selfie with him? Real mermaid. Many little girls wanted to be like Disney's Ariel, but Sia Shells from Canada did not give up on her dream, even when she grew up. The girl not only believes mermaids really exist, she also considers herself one of them. According to Sia, she was literally obsessed with these creatures for as long as she can remember. She only played with mermaid dolls, and when her father gave her the first mermaid tail, the girl felt that her dreams had come true. Today, Sia has a special makeup room in her house. There you can find special gloss and other cosmetics to recreate the looks. For 10 years now, she's been dyeing her hair blue. She also keeps her mermaid outfits in a large closet, tights and tops with decorative scales, and of course, monofins in the form of tails. The girl loves the ocean and constantly goes swimming, so if you happen to be in Canada and see a mermaid in the water, don't be afraid. The king of tattoos. Marcelo B-Boy Ribeiro recalls watching a TV show about the most tattooed man in the world with his family as a child. His mother said, "Imagine if you turn out like that one day." Apparently, he took her words a bit too close to heart. According to the man, today the title "The Most Tattooed Man" belongs to him. There are more than 1,000 tattoos on Marcelo's body. Ready for more surprises? He did almost all of the tattoos himself. Yep, even the ones on his eyeballs too. The father of two says that he wants to turn his body into an art exhibition. In addition to tattoos, he also has metal fangs, silicone subdermal implants, and a split tongue. By the way, the man's tongue is multicolored too. Marcelo's wife agreed to all of his transformations except for one. He wanted to make a flesh tunnel in his cheek and insert a zipper there so that the hole could be opened and closed. Well, this is indeed too much. Real fairy. Been craving some magic for a long time? You can make a wish with this fairy. Well, Ashley of course doesn't actually have supernatural abilities, she just adores fairies and everything related to the fantasy world, so she almost never goes out of character. Ashley first tried on a fairy suit at the Arizona Renaissance Festival during a difficult period of her life, and according to the girl, it helped her cope with her problems. Today, her house has turned into a real fairy tale kingdom. Most of the decor elements are made in the form of various magical artifacts. By the way, Ashley's hobby brings her a good income too. She makes these funny wings and sells them to people who also want to unleash their imagination. The girl also says that her hobby makes her happy. Isn't that just a truly magical thing? Dragon Woman. Okay, you might not believe in dragons, but now you just have to accept the fact that they do exist. But seriously, the woman you see now is Eva Tiamat from the USA. She's the one who decided to become a dragon. It's difficult to say what made her do that though. She says that one day she felt that the image of a human being didn't quite suit her. After that, Tiamat made many serious changes to her body. Her ears and nostrils were removed, her eyes were painted green, and scales were tattooed on her body and face. The last procedure, by the way, has a symbolic meaning for a woman. When she was a child, her parents abandoned her in the desert where rattlesnakes were crawling around her. Now her tattoo represents the pattern on their backs. Spooky story. Also, Eva had most of her teeth removed, 8 horns implanted under the skin of her forehead, and her skin scarred and burned. The Dragon Woman has already spent more than $60,000 on procedures, but as she says, she will not stop until she completes the metamorphosis completely. We wonder what else she comes up with. Tattoo twins. We won't even try to joke about you having a double vision. It's too easy to notice that these girls have different tattoos, but check how many they have and just how amazing they are. The twins Aline and Alina were born in Stuttgart and love the visual arts since childhood, painting vivid natural landscapes. The girls got their first tattoo at the age of 17. It was some kind of stupid inscription which they later painted over, but this was just the beginning. Since then, Aline and Alina covered themselves with tattoos from head to toe and even made them to each other. On their bodies, you can find stunning drawings of flora, fauna, and abstractions stylized as watercolors. If you need to prove to your parents that tattoos can be beautiful, just show them these twins. By the way, the hobby brought the girls to Los Angeles. Now they have opened a studio in the heart of Hollywood. Isn't that cool? Alien Girl. Some people are inspired by mermaids, some by dragons, and this girl probably wants to look like an alien from a distant galaxy. But that's actually not true. Laura Lee misled us with her blue skin and strange artificial ears. According to the girl, she was inspired by the Japanese Gyaru subculture. It's characterized by bright clothes, ridiculous-looking prints, and large jewelry and voluminous hairstyles. Oh, and don't forget about long nails. In this regard, no Japanese woman can compare with Lee. The girl works as a nail master and makes these incredibly long false nails with a huge amount of glitter, crystals, and different 3D decor. You'd be surprised, but she has an endless stream of customers. The girl uses false nails too, adding bright makeup, a colored wig, and tons of different jewelry to her image. By the way, she plans to make her skin blue forever someday. Something tells us that she decided to become an alien after all. Hold on a second. Do you want to see some crazy stories from real life? Nothing dull, only action, only adventures, chases and fights, love confessions and sudden betrayals. Don't believe us? Well, follow the link and see for yourselves. Our animation channel Private Diary reveals the deepest secrets. Don't forget to subscribe.